Well, I know every MCU fan is really pretty much wondering when the X-Men are finally going to appear, and although we've been teased with a couple projects, former X-Men, and even the recent Deadpool and Wolverine, the question of the mainstream Marvel X-Men team is still completely up in the air. Now, some new rumors that are making the rounds are suggesting that Marvel Studios' long-awaited reboot, well, fans might find themselves surprised on which members of the team are not present. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about the recent story, where this rumor report comes from, because it is a rumor report, and the implications for specifically Wolverine and Hugh Jackman. Now, way back when Disney acquired 20th Century Fox, Kevin Feige pretty much assured fans that an X-Men reboot was in the works and should come our way very soon. Now, this was back in 2019, and although this was pre-worldwide health crisis, for many of us, we've started to wonder when this is actually going to happen, and we've only had what I would really call a trickle so far. Besides Deadpool and Wolverine, we got a quick peek at Professor X in Multiverse of Madness, and of course at the end of The Marvels where we saw Beast. But now we know Marvel Studios has hired Michael Leslie to pen a script for the upcoming film, and they are in search of a director. Now, recently we got a report from Hollywood insider Daniel Rickman. But like we always like to say, this isn't Kevin Feige or Marvel Studios, so we're taking it with a grain of salt. But if this does prove to be accurate, well, fans might be pretty surprised at Marvel's plans for the mutant heroes, and more specifically, Wolverine. Now, according to the Scooper, the MCU X-Men reboot will not, I repeat, not feature Wolverine at all, but it will feature a very similar team to the X-Men 97 animated series. Apparently that roster is front and center, but Marvel Studios does plan on adding some other characters to the mix. We've recently had reports that Forge could be part of this film, and he was a pretty prominent part of the first season of X-Men 97, so we're already seeing some ties there. Now, apparently though, Logan will not be on the roster, and there is a pretty good reason. Now, what he is saying is, Hugh Jackman is indeed sticking around, and might even be part of the MCU after Secret Wars, which quite honestly kind of caught me off guard because he seemed pretty ready to hang up the claws even after this successful return. Now, from many perspectives, Jackman staying on is a pretty great idea, especially after the massive success that was Deadpool and Wolverine. But seriously guys, not including Logan in the reboot team is a choice that quite honestly is not going to sit well with many fans. If you're a fan of X-Men comics, you know, well, there are years and many characters to focus on before Wolverine becomes part of the team. And I think Kevin Feige is probably going to lean into some of those stories and eras. But for pretty much everybody else, Wolverine is the huge draw, and not having him part of the movie, well, could create a little bit of static with fans. Now, Marvel has some big plans for all of them though, because recently when Kevin Feige was talking to Discussing Film, he actually said, quote, "We're closer to seeing X-Men and Avengers together on the big screen," and expressed his excitement about having the thousands of characters back that Fox owned the rights to, as well as how X-Men 97 was everyone's first taste reuniting Marvel Studios with the X-Men mythology and their storyline. We've got multiple reports even from other scoopers like the Cosmic Circus's Alex Perez saying the groundwork now is being laid for an Avengers vs. X-Men movie, but it feels like at this point that might be very far out and definitely is going to come our way after Secret Wars. In any case, I think the mutants are a key part of the future of Marvel Studios. You should never write off the X-Men. Those movies were a phenomenal success in an era where superhero movies were not staple, and fans love these characters. The X-Men are special in superhero mythos, and they have a fan base that you can't underestimate. So, whatever Marvel Studios does here, they need to tread lightly and make sure whatever X-Men team they bring us is what fans want, and honestly, removing Hugh Jackman from the role of Wolverine could definitely cause some fans to feel a little disconnected from the team. How this all works out, well, we're gonna have to wait and see.